Hello and welcome to Mini Art Lessons. I want to do a shout out and thank some of my Patreon members for making this episode possible with your monthly donation. If you're wondering what that is, Patreon is a way for you to support the arts and artists becoming a patron and subscribing for as little as $5 a month, and you get inside looks, you get handwritten notes, sometimes you even get little paintings and things like that. So moving on, we are going to be working on our mini collages today. So these are a bunch of collages we're going to be making really quickly, just to get creative and get those creative juices flowing. So what you're going to need is Mod Podge or glue, an old paintbrush, an X-Acto knife or scissors, and some materials. So we're first going to begin by collecting materials. So earlier this week I found a bunch of old magazines. I went to an old bookstore and I found a bunch of nature catalogs. I collected some old newspapers and things like that. And so what I'm doing here is I am just pasting them on with the Mod Podge and then layering these images just to see what happens. Thinking about color and composition and not trying too hard to get it perfect on the first try, just to see what happens. So I'm layering elements and colors, creating rhythm with lines, blocks of shapes and pattern, just to get the general composition and start sparking some ideas that maybe will lead to a bigger collage or a more final collage. Okay, so for your composition, what you're going to want to focus on are some of the main points, just the basics, are rhythm, pattern, and things like that, just to get the eye moving around the page and just to have a really good composition and feeling to the whole collage. And you can see here that I'm testing things out. If I don't like it, I move it around. I've created some paintings from before and cut them out, and just different ways of using material and reusing, and just kind of looking at your artwork in a different way. So you can see here that I'm moving pretty quickly, I'm pasting, and I'm even putting dried flowers, which is something that I had been working on and collecting over the past week. So just kind of getting a general composition, really kind of playing with the shapes and just being kind of loose and not worrying too much about what they look like, and going from one to the other and adding and seeing what works and what doesn't. So you can see here that I'm pasting the flowers on with the Mod Podge, really not being afraid to use too much. And after this I went in and I added some oil paint and some line work and things like that. That's not pictured in this video. So you can kind of go in after things dry, like the glue dries, and keep adding and subtracting and cutting things out and adding them and layering. So here are some images from my final product, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, check out my website, and if you'd like a mini painting, please sign up for my Patreon and I'll send you one as soon as possible. All right, see you next time.